Welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions Saturday Night Live, number 70. We've got a lot to talk about today. Hey, I just got a Tiny Hawk 2 in the mail this week, care of a great subscriber, Rick Halber. Love that guy. He's a swell dude in the drone community. Then we're going to talk about some issues with DJI's drones lately. One of our drone members, I guess it was a Mavic Mini or the Mavic Air 2, it fell out of the sky. Jim Boyd, who is going to be coming up shortly here, could tell us a little more about those kinds of issues and plus other drone stuff. So, hey, let's get the show on the road. And don't forget, later on, we're going to do almond toffee trivia where you can win a box of Enstrom's almond toffee. Hey, this is the only channel where you can win candy. So I'm going to, hey, we got some people coming in already. We've got Rodney Bell, Timeless Truth, Steve Mack, and Michael Blade, and this guy Above and Beyond Drones. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. Let's kick off the show and bring up our first panel guest, Jim from Above and Beyond Drones. Welcome.
I don't get the gerbil, huh?
Well, that's better than.
Can't hear it.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll play around with it. Oh, there we go.
Delayed action.
All right. Hey, Glenn, Thunderbird Sits is here. Welcome, welcome. Michael Blade. All right, people are slowly trickling into the show. All righty, Jim. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the issues DJI's been having with some of their drones. We were talking a little bit earlier before the show about Ken Dono's drone that fell out of the sky. Which was that the Mavic Mini or the Mavic Air 2 that happened?
I want to say Mini. Am I wrong? I want
don't
to say
know.
Mini. It had the LED light, then the sensor, then the LED light. But
Right.
he had said that when he looked at the records, it looked like an IMU failure, it said on the screen.
Ooh.
That thing dropped from 200 feet.
Ouch. Yeah, that'll really mess things up. Huh.
They've been having a problem with their whoever prints their circuit boards, because
Right.
everything on that flight controller board controls like the ESCs. I don't know, all the power to that, and you'll get little warnings. Telltale warnings are whenever you see it say propulsion limited, like it's fighting the wind. Yeah, propulsion limited means that it's slowing down the blades or the motors.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a flight controller problem. At least it was on mine.
Uh-huh. So it could be that one of the lands has a short in it, or it's has a little tiny hair that's close to another component that's causing a short. Yeah,
these things are all flow soldered. So,
Yeah.
Any electrical guy could tell you that you're looking for a problem when you don't inspect every board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to make my own guitar effects boards where I would take a schematic and I would, make a circuit board and I would etch it. And you gotta get it, just right. If you got a land that's too close to another
Yep.
or pad or another land, it'll cause a short there. Hey, let's welcome our other panelist, old guy in a drone, Mitch. Welcome,
Hey, Mitch.
Mitch.
Hey, Art, how you doing?
It's there, the Taj Mahal.
I want to kill your story for a second here, Art, because while I don't know, I'll ask Mitch after this. It was pouring rain here, thunderstorm and everything, while the space shuttle, it wasn't a space shuttle, the Falcon 9 rocket was going up. Was it raining by you, Mitch?
No,
That's Florida.
I was getting some thunder, and I'm watching the launch on TV, and they're saying the weather's great. So I pulled up the weather radar map, and basically it was south of Melbourne. They were having thunderstorms, but up at Cape Canaveral it was gorgeous, and north of Cape Canaveral, from there on north, and the thing went up north. So that's what they were concerned about. But 20 miles, that was about how close it was.
I had a full-on rainstorm going on here while I'm standing out there watching it.
Wow, that's amazing.
First time in 9 years.
And I heard it. Well, Art, I went out and bought myself a new house just for your live stream special.
I love the stairway.
You like that? Here, let me move out of the way so you can see it. Yeah.
There you go.
You should
regal.
You should see the rest of the joint, man. You should. Honest to God, you should see the rest. I mean, like here, this is my dining room right here. See. I mean, the place is fabulous. Here's the kitchen. There's the kitchen.
Nice.
Well, I was jealous of your place, Art. With the grand piano, and I figure I had to have something.
Did you notice I got a library right over there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that today.
I have a library too.
Oh, hey, that is a nice library.
I have a library as well. It's a nice library, isn't it?
Is that the kind that has the secret doors in it, where you can go through another passage to another part of the house?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Art, if you do go through the bookcase, it opens up into this room here, which is a pool.
There you go.
A billiard room, and it's really, it fits me. I think that.
Well, that's great.
It's the kind of house that I should have.
Let's welcome Agent K is here, and Mel is here. Hey, we got another panelist on all the way from the land down under. Let's welcome Ari remote.
Hey,
Ari.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Ari?
Good to see you all. Oh, looks like the link's not the best today. I'm glad to finally catch up with you, Art. I'm terrible at this time on a Sunday morning, my time. I'm usually still in bed, but I had to get up, and I saw you there, so thanks for having me on.
Hey, you're welcome. So what time is it there?
It's just gone 9 a.m.
Okay.
And if I dump quickly, I've got some people coming to look at some equipment with the odds of purchasing it. So that's why if I go off. And hello to everybody in the chat. I haven't popped out the chat yet.
Okay.
And I've got to make an admission in a minute, which is going to get me in trouble with Jim. I sold the Inspire, Jim.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I was not using it, and I'm tired of being frightened by it, dropping out of GPS mode or something like that. I know that it's par for the course, but I don't know. I'm a coward, I guess.
All right. Hey, let's welcome Adrian Mateo Drones, Jim Crennan, and Flying the Stand. All right. We got a good crowd here today.
Yeah, Rodney Bell's here, and Michael Blade likes my new house.
Yeah. Looks nice. Very regal.
You think? You think so? Yeah, I kind of...
Is that one of your ex-wives over the fireplace there?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I kind of like the staircase. So that's where I set up my studio, was right by this regal looking staircase.
Well, it's got you centered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can move around a little bit, but yeah. I mean, I got my inspirations from art. You know, Art's got such a nice looking place there that.
So here's what happens when you put your knee on someone's neck and you occlude their blood flow to their brain.
Oh, here we go.
Did you hear what the coroner's report was?
No, I didn't hear that. I'm trying not to pay attention too much.
I'm sorry, but I had to look when he turned around and said that he wasn't strangled to death. No, his blood was just occluded to his head. He turned around and said that the guy's coronary disease was attributed to his death.
Oh, that's
Not
right.
for 10 minutes, the guy was kneeling on his head.
Yeah, we all know he would have died just the same if the other guy hadn't. That's even in the news over here. Not even before it started erupting into riots and so forth.
Right.
You know, I've worked in that. I've worked in security, and I come from a law family. Guys,
You don't have to be in the medical profession to know that you're occluding.
The first thing you learn, and the first thing I used to teach was, don't put your hands or anything near a guy's neck. Tragedies happen. And how many times did he tell him he couldn't breathe? 15 times?
That was a lot.
And that's not to say that what's going on there is right. I mean, we all know that burning down whole neighborhoods and looting major stores is going to fix it, right?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's how I react. That's how I always react. For example, if a driver were to cut me off in traffic, and I would go to the nearest Target store and just burn the thing to the ground. I mean, doesn't everybody does that?
Yeah.
Where does this crap come from? Where did looting come from?
Art's place.
It's organized. It's organized and paid for. If you don't think that every one of those protesters that's Antifa and Black Lives Matter isn't on a payroll and weren't bussed in to that event by the political operatives, then
Hey,
I got a bridge to say.
Guys, let's save this for my other show.
Yeah, but we can't come on your other show and talk. We got to sit and listen to you and Lloyd bitch about everything, and we don't get a chance to. All right, we'll talk about drones.
Yeah, let's talk about drones. And while we're
how about them drones anyway? Huh?
Yeah, how about them drones? Anyway, want to let everybody know, I've got a tip jar. So if you want to, throw a few bucks in, you like the show, here's the link to my tip jar. Throw a few bucks in last week. I want to give a shout out to Bill, Metro Drones. He threw me a few bucks there. Thank you, Bill. So, yeah, if you feel inclined and you want to give me a few bucks, I'm not monetized quite yet. I'm getting closer and closer. I'm pretty close to 2.7K watch hours. So.
Wow.
What do you need for?
You need 4,000, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never monetize art. I'd be frightened that they'd pay me what I'm worth.
Well, they're paying me what I'm worth now. I get anywhere between 7 and 35 cents a day.
Ooh, boy.
In advertising. No, that's advertising revenue. Now, occasionally somebody will throw me a little super chat, which I get 65% or 70% of that.
Yeah, something like that.
Now, I can't figure out how it works, because normally if I get like a $10 super chat, I get $7.
There you
go. But on my last live stream, guys, I got $25, which is amazing, worth of super chats, but I only got $15 and some change.
Wow.
Which is not 70%.
Right.
Now, I don't know. So I don't know how. I think they just take whatever they feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's welcome another panelist all the way from the left coast or California. Let's welcome our good friend Steve Carpenter. Yay!
Good afternoon, gentlemen. And to clarify that, it is the right left coast.
You're not in that county where they just had that runoff. What was the county where the Republican beat
no, that was up. That's up in L.A. area.
In L.A. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm safe down here in Orange County, watching all these crazies over there with their rioting and looting.
Yeah. Well, it looks like more people are rioting here in Denver as we speak right now. So, and we've got a curfew till 8 p.m. So,
but have you noticed that everybody forgot about COVID?
Yeah,
I mean, they're all out there rioting. They're not wearing masks. Yeah, they're hugging and kissing each other, and they're having a big party. And I noticed when I was watching the coverage of the launch today,
they're wearing masks.
Some of them are, but most of the people in SpaceX themselves that were out there were running around without masks. Nobody's wearing masks.
It's open air.
Crazy.
Well, all I can say is I was just very happy to see that launch go today.
Oh, it was great.
Brought a smile to my face. I've been watching it all along. I've always followed space and the days of the first space flights and Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. I was up for that to watch it when they did broadcast it live, and to watch that today almost brought tears to my eyes.
We kind of grew up as kids with that. They had all those products, remember?
And now it's a show. Now they got with the cameras and the connections they have. I mean, it's actually a scripted. Did you hear them getting ready for the media event? You hear them, they were getting ready for the media event, and the SpaceX girl is saying, well, there's a PDF on your thing there. It's got our talking points on it. Take no. This is true. This is what she said. We'd like you to at least cover one and 2 and 3. But once you've covered those, take a look at the rest of them, and tell us which ones you think you might want to cover. Because the most important thing about this whole thing is the show. It's the show.
Well, can you imagine the conversation that's going on there, Mick, Mitch, out at the back? Like, guys, whatever you do, smile at the cameras, wave, leave a good impression, because if it turns into another Challenger, we want you all to be remembered in the best possible light. Yeah.
They named the capsule Endeavor. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. I've missed it because I've only been awake about an hour.
Yeah, they named it because both of them had been on the Endeavor, on the shuttle Endeavor. So they named they gave the capsule a name, and I just caught the feed. I was watching it just as you were coming on live of the guys. They have a little mobile camera that they can move around, and they were doing their quote media event. And
I love them. Cool. They're brave. They're geeks. They're the perfect cross between a geek and a hero, because no matter how they try and spin it, you're sitting on top of basically the biggest conventional explosive device on the face of the planet, and things go wrong from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
I love them, and especially the ones that go back later. I mean, this is not a political comment, because I know that he was a senator. I don't know whose side for, but for many years I loved, well, I still do. I thought John Glenn was a great man. To go back into space at the age that he was, all that, put his body through all of those tests to show how aging is affected by space travel and everything. Yeah. Courage, kudos.
Bill Nelson. Bill Nelson went. Who was a senator from Florida. And also went up on. He was a pilot, but not an astronaut. But he actually went up on the shuttle ride too.
Yeah.
One of my favorite all over past astronaut, and I changed my mind, but to this was Buzz Aldrin, because about 10 or 15 years ago, he wasn't young then. He was in his 70s. He came out of a congressional hearing, and he got ambushed by somebody on the stairs who said something along the lines of, Come on, Buzz, tell us the truth. We know that the moon landing was all faked and you're all a bunch of He just turned around and poof. Beauty.
Hey, Michael. Hello, Mike.
Hey,
Netflix documentary.
Mike Roche.
Hey, that way. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Steve.
Michael.
Hi, Bill.
Nice of Liberace to let Mitch and Art stay at his house.
Yeah.
I went out. I told you, Mike. I went out and I was so shamed of my house after what Art has there. That I had went out and bought myself a palace. You know,
Right.
I did. Yeah, and I moved just since Thursday night when I did my last show. I bought
Boy,
this
I'll
house
tell
and
you
I
what, you got it
moved
back
into it.
together. You got the studio together, lickety split.
Absolutely, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Ari, you know, I had the real fortune to meet John Glenn, and this is I told these guys once before, but for your sake, we all got to put questions in. It was at a Rotary Club meeting here in San Juan Capistrano here in California, and he'd come over as a guest speaker, and my question to him was, which got picked. What was the most scariest thing you felt and thought of while waiting for launch? And his reply was, knowing that the spacecraft that I'm in went to the lowest bidder.
Yeah, every component was made by because I'm pretty sure John Glenn was.
That I'm in went to the lowest bidder.
Yeah, oops, somebody's left it on. Yeah, he's ex-Air Force. He was a fighter pilot, I believe. Most of that generation of astronauts were, so they're not short on ticker.
No, they're not.
Yeah, all those guys are test pilots and Chuck Yeager types and things like that.
And that from here is about a little over 100 miles up from where I live, Edwards Air Force Base, where all that took flight. In fact, right after the I-5 was completed, they had on the back of a truck, the X-15 was traveling from San Diego, going up to Edwards, being taken up there for its first inaugural flights going up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was
guys.
There were several other aircrafts that were there, and they were all covered, but by luck, the back end of the tarp came off, and you could see the X. You couldn't see the 15, but you could see the X.
Now,
these two guys.
We've all got computer power on our desk greater than the first, lunar lander.
No doubt.
Yeah.
These two guys are test pilots, right? They're tough guys, pilots, test pilots. They're about as far from being corporate types as you can imagine. The words like proactive, interface never ever come out of their mouths.
How about it's a force multiplier?
No, maybe, but where have I heard that before? Anyway, so they got this woman is communicating to them in the capsule, and they're up there in the capsule. They're trying to eat. Okay, they're trying to eat. This is their time to eat.
MREs, by the way.
Between two burns. They got two burns they got to accomplish to make sure they get into the proper. And in between those burns, these guys are trying to eat. And during that whole period of time, this young lady keeps interrupting them about this media event using words like interface and proactive, like the corporate person that she is working for SpaceX. And you could almost see these guys, what they were doing. You could almost see their hand gestures while they were trying to be polite.
That was corporate woman. Inevitable, wasn't it?
Well, you got to remember the education of the pilots that we have, the astronauts we have together. And it was really funny because I was talking with my grandkids, and the one young granddaughter, she says, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut someday." And I go, "You know what? I hope you do." I says, "What you will experience in a lifetime, you could be on Mars. But remember one thing, Mommy and Daddy have one heck of a college bill, because you better have a minimum of 2 PhDs or you're not even getting in the door for the first examination and interview." I mean, these people are brilliant, and the thing that I agree with you, Mitch, 100%. They're down to earth with the brain power that these people have and the capacity they have. They're all down to earth.
Oh yeah. Oh, you saw it too. You saw it too, Jim, didn't you? Where she was bothering when they were eating, and she just kept going.
It was inevitable, Mitch. You know, when space travel moved over from being a government agency to corporate, they're not in it for altruism or for furthering the human race. They're in it for profit.
No.
They want to sell their services to the government, and then they're looking for the next customers. So it's all about public relations, putting the best spin on it.
Well, what's interesting also is that, you know, you had two players in this event today. You had NASA and you had SpaceX, and each one had their own control center. And in the NASA control center, they were all wearing shirts and ties and had short haircuts and looked like, you know, military and government people. The SpaceX people looked like the lunchroom at Google, you know.
Yeah. It's funny,
different culture.
This new generation of you know, with SpaceX, the renewed interest in the space travel is as much as space travel, but also Elon Musk has become kind of a cult figure amongst tech geeks, you know. Right. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It just I think it is what it is, and if that helps renew interest in space travel, you know, going to the moon, whatever we're going to do, then that's great. But it's funny, like Mitch said, it's you know, you can tell by the differences in the looks of the room, like the kind of the culture in terms of why they're interested and things like that is just totally different.
But they are getting the job done. I'll tell you, Mike, they're getting the job done. SpaceX,
not taking away from them, you know,
without a doubt, they're getting the job done.
They come from polar opposites of the spectrum, yet you would find that the levels of raw brain power and professionalism in both camps would be commensurate with one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I have two cousins that actually work a lot with SpaceX and working and meeting with Elon Musk quite a bit, because they're up here in the area that they're at, where SpaceX is at, just up the coast here.
What do they do that they meet Elon Musk?
They do. They sell all the lathe tooling and equipment and everything that all the parts are made from for that, and they've taken it all in-house instead of exporting it out to a lot of different companies. And what they've done is they've got the tooling machines. So I'm talking, you know, 5-axis, all automated, right. And the tolerances are just unbelievable, because it all takes into the program the type of metal, what the metal is, and what that wear will be on that cutting tool. So the next cut it has to make, it's automatically calibrating and taking that into the program that it will assume for the wear on the tool that's cutting it. So the next one is exactly the exact same,
CNC machines, computer numerically controlled machines.
Yes. Well, and also big flatbed tables too that are just huge, over 120 feet in length. But it's really interesting to see all the different things, how it's evolved over a period of time back to the old days.
The metal material.
CMMs have been around since
Fly High Ireland and Ed. Love my drones. Welcome.
Hey, Ed. And Adrian Mateo Drones. Hello to him.
And I hear that Kelly plugged the show a little while ago. And someone just mentioned in the chat, and I thought, cool. Hey, thank you very much, Kelly Shores. Cool. Thank you for the plug. And so this came in the mail this week. I got a tiny hot tube, care of Rick Halber, one of our great supporters here in the drone community. Tomorrow night on Mitch's show, Old Guy in the Drone, we're going to be doing, we're going to get that set up with my controller, and hopefully soon I'll be getting that flying. And
make sure you get it on camera, Art. We want to see you fly it.
Oh, I'm want to see him fly it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But did you download Beta Flight Configurator yet?
Yes, I did. Okay. Get it. Yeah.
Did you install the drivers for it?
That's what I gotta find out if I need to.
Well, if you go and open it up, right on the front page, there are links to the drivers.
Right.
Just go ahead and install those.
Okay. All right.
And
I'll do that.
And that'll give us a head start. Okay. There you go.
So Jim and Mitch, you guys could actually watch the rocket in real life, right? Just by eye.
You can
Yeah,
see it going on.
yeah. I have a row of trees, so I'd have to go around the block to get past the trees to see it. But exactly
just go
2
up the
minutes.
stairs. Just go up the stairs and look out the window.
Yeah, right. Exactly. 2 minutes and 38 seconds after liftoff. I was watching it on TV, and I wasn't watching an internet feed. I was watching it on broadcast TV, so it was pretty close to real time. And about 2.5 minutes after liftoff, I heard the rumble of the rockets. Yeah,
oh, wow.
It shakes. Yeah. It's pretty loud, and you could always tell when a rocket goes off, and it takes the sound about 2-3 minutes to get from the launch pad to where I live. Jim, you ever hear it down where you are? Does it get that far?
No, I don't hear it, and the windows don't shake, the house don't shake, none of that.
A house doesn't shake, but I do definitely hear it. And
Wow.
Well,
what's
it was
amazing is
shaking.
I've
It
seen-
was shaking here in California. I had my home theater system on, and let me tell you, that's
how you
subwoofer
cannot
had
hear
the
the
window
sonic
shaking.
boom.
That's cheating.
How you cannot
You
hear the
know-
sonic boom 20 miles away would absolutely amaze me.
Well, the sonic boom happened when the shuttle came in and landed.
Yeah.
And
Not a takeoff, only on landing.
No,
coming
well,
No,
down.
there's a
landing,
boom
and
when
we
it
had-
takes off. When it breaks the atmosphere, there's a boom.
Yeah, but it's pretty high up when that
yeah,
happens
but you can
already.
hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that. But what's really
Well,
funny
you're
is,
old.
what's really funny is that Jim, and I've seen so many launches, gone out and watched the rocket go up, and then unless you're actually right up there across the river from it, where you can experience, there's no impetus. So I
To be
sit
all
in the house and
honesty,
watch
you're
it. I
never
watch
up close. Even
Yeah,
the
but I
viewing
watch it on
stand is
TV.
miles away.
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is that I sit and watch it on TV, even though it's happening right outside,
Right.
because
You
I
get a
get a
better
better
view.
view of it on TV.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's like sporting events,
Yeah.
It's different when you're at the event because you get to feel the excitement of the crowd and you get caught up with the players that are on the field. But when you're at home, yeah, you get a much better view of the game than you would at the stadium. But
That's what I always thought about football. These stadiums, 100,000 people, and you're up in the, what they call them, nosebleed seats?
yeah, nosebleed section. Yep.
You can hardly see the players.
Yep. Well, I was at Super
Stay at
Bowl.
home and watch it at home.
And I was on the 40-yard line, and I was, maybe 10 rows up. And, that Rose Bowl, it holds 100,000 people. But the problem is that slope is so gentle going up that if you're sitting down close to the front, you're not going to see anything. All you're going to see is the back of the guys on the sideline, and you end up watching the game on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
It's a part. The stadium was good for what it was for when it was originally built, but it isn't. It, like you're exactly saying, it goes up. It's a slow pace going up there.
Yep.
Having gone to all our sports, I can honestly say that the best time I've ever had is at a hockey game. Those places are only 30,000 people.
I got to go, guys. I've got that.
All right.
Having fun up.
Yeah, all right.
Regards to everybody and everyone in the chat. Take care.
Good to see you.
Take care, Ari. Good to see you.
I mean, we used to go to the Nassau Coliseum, watch the Islanders, and I don't think you could actually get a bad seat watching a hockey game. It's
Yeah.
nice, and it's only 30,000 people. They cut low like that. It's
And
And
you
the-
sit right
and the-
behind the glass, man, and they
Yeah.
keep banging into the
when
glass right in
plates
front
come
of you.
right up
That's-
next to the glass.
Oh,
Wow.
And even when you're in the nosebleed seats, because they go up such a steep arc going up,
Yeah.
you're not like this, like Art was talking about.
Yeah.
Here you are in the Rose Bowl. you're like this, so you're close in on top of it.
You're not a mile away from the other guy. And, yeah.
Now you can check all the good-looking girls from the other side, even still.
That used to be a great sport. I don't get to see that down here. I don't even know where the Florida Panthers are. I don't even know where they play.
Well, they had what's the Orlando team? The
all I know is the name Panthers.
no, there's a hockey team in Orlando.
Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yeah.
Not Tampa, Orlando. Solar Bears. Solar Bears.
Now you
I don't even know if they're
look
still in existence.
Oh yeah, minor league hockey.
20-something years ago. It was major league. It was a big deal,
Right.
hockey. Yeah, but I went to a couple. I'm not a sports fan, so you guys all lose me when it comes to that stuff.
Our minor league team here, the AHL team, the Syracuse Crunch, is the Tampa Bay Lightning's farm team.
Right.
So
Okay.
we get a lot of Tampa Bay people coming through here.
Yep.
We used to. They're still in Florida.
Yeah, the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And didn't Atlanta? Well, they had the Flames, and didn't they move to Calgary or something? Or Calgary moved there?
Yeah.
Where is their stadium? I don't even know where their stadium's at.
Um,
But
I'm looking at their wiki page.
I've been to a few Avalanche games, and when the Pepsi Center opened up, that is a great stadium. I've been to a couple hockey games and one concert there. I saw AC/DC play there, and well, luckily for me, the company that I worked for, they would give us season tickets if you won that week's drawing, if you got picked. And I took my dad, and we get there, and they said, "Oh, would you like to sit in the handicap section?" Cool. Yeah. So we did that, and those seats were even better than the seats the company had. So that's one of the perks of being a GIMP, right, Mike?
I know they used to have great seats.
It's funny. We have the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse for Syracuse football and basketball. When that was first built in 1980, it was state of the art and all this stuff. It's one of those domes with a bubble roof,
Right.
air pressure. And the wheelchair seats that they put in were awful. They were in one end zone, and they were on the same concrete slab as the bench seat in front of you, not stepped up. So all you saw when the play happened was people's butts in front of your face. So I was there with a couple of friends of mine also in shares, and we got fed up. Boston College was playing, I think this is like 1986 or 86, and Doug Flutie was there and stuff, and we took the elevator downstairs and went into where the ambulance comes into the dome, to the field. Told the guard we were allowed to be there, and he let us in. We sat in the corner on the field watching next to the cheerleaders, and then he comes over. He's like, "You guys got to leave. You're not supposed to be here." We're like, carry us out. Go ahead, and so obviously they weren't going to carry us out in front of 50,000 people. So thankfully, they added another section a year later that was elevated properly, and I have a season ticket there, and I've had it for 32 years now, I think. And so it's good. They're putting a new roof on it now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, even as old as Anaheim Stadium, which is the LA Angels, is as old as it is. The spaces for people that are like, say, if you were to go in and then your guest, they have a chair and then they have an open spot, and then it's a chair and an open spot, and where they have all those actually is like underneath the cover. So if you've got the ground filled level, and you're there on the ground filled level, at the top of that level, just underneath the canopy, you're there above it. So you're sitting above, say, the last row here, but the view you have is perfect. If it rains, you're covered while everybody else has got to run back out. You're not in the sun, and they have it all blocked off with lots of room for people to get around.
As opposed to Yankee Stadium.
Well, the new stadium, though, I hear is good, isn't it? Isn't the new stadium good?
I haven't been to the new one yet, but I've been to the old one, and what a dump!
Oh, the old one, yeah.
So old, you know.
I was going to say you'd have to hawk everything you own in order to get a ticket to get into the new stadium.
Yeah.
They've destroyed all of that, man. Shea Stadium was fantastic and easy to get to. You got on the train, bingo, you were there. Now they've got Citi Field, and it's all spread out. It's not convenient anymore.
Yeah.
But you said TV is the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a shame.
When I lived in Michigan, I used to go see games at the Silverdome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And that was another stadium that had air that held the roof up.
Wasn't it the Pontiac Silverdome?
And let's see.
Was that the first one that opened up? Or was that Houston or the Oilers or whatever? I remember it was a big deal when they made that roof.
Oh, you're thinking of the Astrodome.
Yeah.
Houston, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And that was supposed to be that would let natural light in, but then they found out, hey, how come the grass is dying? And then they put in this artificial grass.
AstroTurf. Yeah.
AstroTurf. Yep.
I can't imagine
green sandpaper.
I can't imagine landing, on that like these football players do. I mean, that's laying on concrete, man.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper. Yeah.
Well, now with the new artificial turf, it's padded underneath
with that black stuff.
Yeah, and now they've made it's a lot safer because the old AstroTurf players would get what's called turf toe.
Yep.
Where the toe would catch on the carpet and cause a lot of foot and ankle injuries, knee injuries.
You could twist your knee in a second. Yeah. Grab.
Go the wrong way, man.
Or you can be like Arizona does. You just sit there and you push a button, and the whole field moves out into the sun, and then you water it, and the doors close down, so it keeps all the inside of the dome, cool. You get the sunshine, you get the water, the grass is all green. Open up the door, you bring the grass back in, and put it down, and there's your stadium.
That is pretty cool.
Hey, let's welcome Bob Casey's here.
Bob Casey.
And Carlos is here, back from the sky.
And Mitch is on SpaceX.
I'm just trying to be, relevant here.
Yeah, but there's only one prod with that relevant. You're broadcasting another live stream.
No, what I'm broadcasting, I'm broadcasting to the ISS, the space ISS feed. Yeah. Well, let them sue me for let them copyright that.
Yeah, there we go. Don't forget, I do have.
I don't care. It's Art's channel anyway, so he'll get it.
Thank you.
No, I can't imagine them.
Mitch, you have to move like this.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm sitting here trying to figure out a cool way to make the monkey just kind of float by
with
a helmet on, but that would take too much to do on this live stream.
Well, and that's appropriate for Mitch because there's no atmosphere.
Oh. Ow!
I'll tell you what, a rough crowd.
No respect. No respect.
No respect. Where is it?
Art, this shot is from the International Space Station,
Wow.
Looking down at launch pad 39A 2
Yep.
minutes before the flight took off.
Oh
Wow.
wow, that's cool.
Cool.
I thought that was just crazy. Where is the
It's,
other
it's
one?
amazing. Yeah,
the
really, it
camera
really is
technology
amazing.
with these launches compared to back in the Apollo days. Like you
Yeah.
get clear digital HD views of the red hot rocket engine, perfectly clear. And in the old days, it was that grainy, stuff.
Yeah,
that
you had the lines
make up.
through it. Yeah.
It's something.
I just put the link in for their broadcast that it came up. That finally popped up on YouTube and identified of their live broadcast that Mitch was talking about. There you'll see the perfect timing for the HD image of being able to watch these guys in space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna click it.
Well, you remember the TV feed from the moon?
Oh
yeah.
I mean, that was, but that, the fact that back then, the fact that you could actually see them on the, was to me more of a miracle than any of the stuff that they do today.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Think about the delay, and just the delay in the signal of getting from the moon to the earth and from the earth to the moon, and that going on, and trying to put that into your realm. When you're sitting there to saying, okay, we're going to put this live stream, broadcast live on the moon.
Yeah.
Now, how do we not talk over the other person who's coming back 20 seconds later?
Yeah, Carlos wants to know why I drive down the road, get disconnected on a cell phone call, and these guys can talk to space.
That's easy. That's an easy answer. It's called, we're going to force you to buy your cell phone, and guess what? We'll think about building the infrastructure up for it.
Yep.
They're 50% roughly of their infrastructure of the actual use.
Yep. Also, you gotta think about this: when the astronauts go on the dark side of the moon, you lose signal.
Yep.
So they lose signal too. So think about that.
Well, yeah. That'll soon be there. They were talking about that, putting with this, future about man going to the moon, about putting satellites actually on the back side of the moon. Right. That'll go from here, trigger the satellite. That'll be sitting. So if the globe's here, instead of being on the backside, they'll be on each side to where the signal can go across the backside and not lose signal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, the 4i is here. Welcome.
The pictures
I want to be hooked into that
even
signal.
tell the moon was flat.
Art, I see you went fishing. When was that?
Yeah, I went this morning. I went fishing. I caught 3 little creek chub, little 4-inch fish, and I was hoping there would be carp down there, because usually when I go to the spot, there's maybe a half a dozen carp that hang out down there, and I noticed the water level was pretty low, even though we've got a nice flow of water coming down that little waterfall behind me that feeds this little pool. I think what happened is, I think the city tore out the beaver dams that were down below, and I think that's why the water level went down. So it kind of screwed up my fishing there. So,
well, that sucks.
But, the water was really nice and clear, and I saw some big bullfrog tadpoles that they were pretty good size. They were about 3 or 4 inches long, and you can see the back legs were forming, and the front legs weren't popping out yet. But in a few weeks, the front legs will start forming, and then you'll see the head start to form, and pretty soon that tail will disappear, and you'll have a frog. So what I might do tomorrow is I got my little floaty gadget and put my camera on and get some underwater views out there, and you get to see the little creek chubs and whatever little minnows are swimming out there.
Unless it's bluefish, I don't know what you're talking about. The only real
No,
fish I
thought Art was going to say, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait just a couple more weeks. Then I'm going to go up there, and there's going to be all these beautiful girls going over there to wait to be kissed by these frogs. I think it's going to turn into a prince. So we're going to go over there and hustle on them before the frogs get around.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Jim, they're opening the new Ellis Road interchange on Tuesday. Did you know? Yes, I read about it. Tuesday at 9 a.m. they're having a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Nice.
And that includes the extension of Heritage Parkway all the way down the back.
It just goes to 192, but
but for me to get down to the park where I fly from where I live,
it'll be easy.
It's like a sky bridge. It's like somebody said, "Here, let me make it really quick for you." Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Is that the one you worked on, Jim, for video?
Yeah.
So you're going to fly the opening?
Yeah, right. It's unfortunately it's in this Class D airspace that has no lance, right on the limits of it. So if I were to take a drone up there,
Jim has approval, so he can go fly it.
Meet me out there Tuesday morning, and we'll fly it, Jim.
I have certificates of authorization.
Yeah, I didn't bother because I figured, well, the lance is coming, right? Every airport except this one.
No, Orlando finally got it.
Oh, Orlando's got it. Tampa's
Orlando
got it.
Daytona
Daytona Beach has it. Sanford has it. You go on
What's
to the
taking
Melbourne.
you guys so long? We've had it here in our small podunk John Wayne Airport here in Orange County. It's been around for
no idea
since
it wasn't on the
open.
original list, Steve. It was not. And you look at Air Map and you click it, and one of the squares lights up where it says like 400 over, and it said FAA authorization coming, automated authorization coming soon. And it said that for a year and a half now. Coming soon.
Well, I had a laugh at Jim's tweet he put out about the the launch flight and then the TFRs out there, and I'm sitting there going, nah, the TFRs weren't because of the rocket launch. It was because the president and vice president were both there.
No, he had a separate TFR for a VIP.
Yeah, there was two different TFRs.
Yeah,
that was the biggest. That was the biggest TFR I have ever seen. 35 miles around the Cape.
Wow.
It went down almost to you, Jim.
Item
almost
C,
as far as you.
Item C was in capital letters and specifically for UAS. If they caught you, they listed the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security. You saw it, Steve, on what right?
Yeah.
I mean, they made a big point of if we see a drone, you're getting screwed.
Yeah, we were, and then Ed sends me an email. Ed, Love My Drone, sends me an email, and he says, "How come you're not out there chasing that thing with one of your drones, the Dragon?"
I hope to God nobody was stupid and actually tried to fly. I really do.
No, in a way, though, if someone did, then I would hope that they would get caught, and then when they would make a record, and then it would put a quash on all these idiots out there trying to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was all I know is I felt threatened by the way they made that in capital letters and all that. And specific, they listed every damn agency that's going to come get you.
Yeah.
And then I quote, Jim Boyd, did you hear this?
Right?
Said Jim Boyd.
Right?
So instead of flying your drone, Jim, just go burn down a target. What the
Yeah, I'll loot a target.
Just loot a target,
Or film
I
it.
never understood. Can I get non-political for 1 second? Can we all chip in to buy fences? When these people destroy their own neighborhoods, can we just build a fence around it so that they now have to deal with that? And we don't. Yeah. I'm not repairing it. I'm not rebuilding it. You friggin' do. You tore it down. You burnt it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell's that got to do with Mike or Art or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. My taxes do not fix it.
It's absolute stupidity. It's not ignorance, because these people have enough common sense to know what it is. It's this, that they're doing it, and then and this goes to the other thing that you've got to read in further and follow the money trail of who's coming in along with these other people in there to instigate it.
You see, I thought it was a crime of opportunity, but the way you're saying
it's both. It's both.
It's both. It's both.
I see it as there's a crowd there, and then, well, no one's going to stop me from breaking in this store. You know.
The best one I saw was, guys, three cases of booze. And you could see the Smirnoff. You could see, I forget what vodka it was, and another one with scotch. And he's waddling down the street with 3 full cases, you know, so you're talking 36 fifths.
He's really protesting the death of the guy.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is most of those people don't even know why they're out there. Mm-hmm. If you walked up and said, "What are you upset about?" they wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about. This is everybody's stealing shit, so why not? You know.
He made me do it.
It's a pathetic situation, and you know, obviously there is something to protest, but that wasn't a protest.
Right?
No,
it was a riot.
I think the best one it was is it showed King and the protest, and it's a side by side showing a picture of King when they protested, and then with this side by side, and who's protesting, and that's what the thing was, the question mark, and that exactly explained it. It was a peaceful protest. You want to do it, you do it in honor and respect the law. And what happened to that man was unconscionable.
Yeah,
that was unconscionable. That was purpose.
You know something, Steve? Unconscionable things happen to people
all the time,
everywhere, every day, and go unprotested, even though they're publicly known.
Here's my thing, guys. Wait a minute. I want to ask you personally, really. If you saw this going on, because me with my big mouth, if I saw that cop with his knee on, I would know that he's occluding the man's blood flow, and I would tell him to stop, which would get me arrested. But I would tell him to stop. Why is that girl sitting there filming it 10 feet from it and not saying a damn word? What would you do?
Yeah.
There were...
Well, it depends on how much the news station is willing to pay for that particular video, which is probably what was the foremost thing on her mind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And there were people saying something, because most of it was explicitives that were coming out, that they had to audio it out. So they were only showing the video only. But the other point is, it's come out that the perpetrator and the police officer worked security together off duty at another location.
Oh, really?
At the same place.
Yep.
So this is going to be coming out yet to go.
So there's because more I know Jim, there was more to it, huh?
Oh, and exactly. And
I did not know that.
Things that I found that out by digging in. And one of the things, like what Jim said, you looked at him, and if you looked where his knee was, and his neck was on purpose to cut off the carotid artery, which was what it was doing.
Yep.
But you watched his right leg. There was no weight on it, meaning so it meant all the weight was on the left, and there was nothing on his right leg because his foot is moving back and forth.
And for 10 minutes, why would you do that? And 3 other officers are on the rest of the guy's body.
Put him in the car.
They're all gone now. That's accessory to murder.
Why didn't you throw the guy in the car, Mike?
Yeah.
So if the guy's a bad cop and the guy murdered him and they arrested the guy and they're going to try him, is that not justice?
No, because he's going to get 3rd-degree charges. It's 3rd-degree murder, and they're already using the coroner's report in the damn news report that it wasn't strangulation, it was his coronary artery disease that led to it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a world.
Listen, I'm in a tiny little town here in Bumscrew, Florida, with military vehicles for police vehicles. They have bought all military surplus. This place is ready to
they think they're SWAT. They're all like SWAT team members down there.
It's insane, man. It's not. They took protect and serve off the police cars. It is not on the police cars. They're not here to protect you and serve you. They're here to keep the peace and make laws
and make money and give you tickets.
All right.
You see, Bob says it right there.
Damn, I've had enough. I'm going out and burn down the Target right now. I feel the need. You know?
I will never understand that correlation.
It is time for toffee trivia. Yay.
Good move, Art.
Oh God.
Toffee trivia. Yay!
All right. Now, Perez, welcome to the show. All right, you've come to the right place. This is the only drone channel that gives away candy. That other big drone channel, people send him candy.
Can we have something other than naval ship trivia tonight?
Your candy is interesting, but I'm watching this chick float around in space right now.
A chick
in the space station there.
Really?
All right. So okay.
Like Sigourney Weaver. She's in the International Space Station, like zero gravity, floating around.
You watching the movie Alien?
That woman explains going to the bathroom and everything.
Yeah.
I was watching that with my granddaughter because that was one of our questions. How do you go to the bathroom? It's a suction device.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks like a face mask the way it comes out of the wall. You put it up to your privates.
I could have lived the rest of the day without visualizing that, you know.
Come on.
And that's only for the front. That's only for the front half. That's only for the front half.
The audio is
it's that final flush where you see it go.
All right, Art. Mitch and I are out of this competition.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I haven't won anything yet.
You didn't win?
No. Art gave me some. He sent me some candy when he sent me the drone that I fixed for him.
Oh well, I'm out of the competition.
Yeah, and I kind of take myself out of the competition. But go ahead, Art.
All righty. So you don't want any naval stuff, okay?
No, that's okay. Whatever you want to do. It's just we've had a trend of naval history.
All right. Well, okay. This will be the last one for the wild.
Okay.
You should do something space related. It's apropos.
Or drone related.
Well, I mean, here we are. We're coming up on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, so I thought, hey, this is a
I thought that was
great trivia question.
Pearl Harbor.
Huh?
Pearl Harbor was December 7th.
You mean D-Day?
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick here. Anyway, the trivia question is,
when was D-Day, Mike?
June 6, 1944.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Which is coming up soon here.
Art, when was Pearl Harbor attacked? The day that will live in infamy?
The December 7th, 1941.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I think we're ruining Art's joke.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Art.
Okay.
I got you, Ed.
All right. Out of all the battleships that were at Pearl Harbor, one sustained minimal damage. Name that battleship.
Obviously not the Arizona.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't sunk.
And it wasn't the Utah.
Definitely not the Arizona.
And you can use Google if you want to.
Yeah, because one ship managed to get out to sea, right? A battleship.
Yeah. And it's not that one.
Hear all the keyboards clacking away. Can you hear it?
Oh, I just asked.
Come on, guys. I'm looking at the chat on
which ship was minimally damaged during the attack on Pearl Harbor?
Battleship.
Rick Halber wrote an answer. Is he correct? The Mississippi?
No.
Sorry, Rick.
Well, you got how many states were there at the time?
Yeah.
Not the Mississippi. I don't even know. I don't think
Oh,
that.
come on, guys.
I didn't know
What
that.
battleship was not sunk?
The
at
USS
Pearl
Nevada went after it. Was the only ship
Harbor?
to get
Enter.
underway.
Right, but it's not that one.
I
The
know.
West Virginia.
Nope.
The Utah.
Nope.
No, the Utah is still there.
Yeah.
That's what it says
It's on
here.
its side.
Yep.
I didn't know that the Nevada got underway
Yeah.
during the attack.
Yep.
Yep. It got underway so it wouldn't block the harbor.
The harbor entrance.
No, it wasn't the Maryland. Maryland was sunk. I like Agent K's answer. Start
The
naming out-
Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania.
There. Oh, who said that?
I said it. Me, Mitch.
You said. All right. Well, Mitch, you are the winner, this week's winner. So congratulations, Mitch.
Thank you. Thank you, Art.
USS Pennsylvania was in dry dock during the attack.
So
and-
if I could Google it, how come everybody else couldn't find it?
yeah,
I had the
I'm
list,
not
but I
even
was going to be
candy right
quiet
now.
and let the people in chat.
Yes, that's what I thought it was for.
Whoa. Sorry.
all right. Well, Mitch, I have. Which one do you want? The milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
I don't want any chocolate. So
Well, okay. And who would you like it donated?
well, who do you think in the chat was the closest?
Well,
Because
me.
nobody came up with it in the chat.
No.
So
Who
I'll
picked
tell
the
you what.
ship?
I'll tell you what. Let's give it to the first guy that came up with a guess in the chat, and that was Rick Halber.
But Rick already won.
Well, let's not give it to Rick then.
Give it to the children.
Ed said the Missouri.
Okay, let's give it to Ed. Ed, give me your. I'm on. We're both on Facebook, so give me your address, and I will ship it to you. Ed, you have been chosen to.
There you go. Enjoy
Yeah.
it, Ed.
And Art
Ed's
pays, like,
so skinny.
$6
Listen, Ed's so
to send this
skinny
to you.
he could use it. You know,
He could use a couple of boxes.
he could. Yeah, Ed could use a few pounds. Me, on the other hand, you know, the last time you sent me candy, Art, it started me on a kind of binge, and I gained 15 pounds. So that's why I don't want it anymore.
Oh, so blame poor Art.
Well, I got to. Nothing is ever my fault. I'm always the victim. You know?
Moderation, Mitch.
I'm the
Moderation.
victim. There's no such thing in my life as moderation.
Those stairs
Sorry.
behind you, you ought to be able to burn off those pounds pretty quickly.
Well, that's how I exercise. The monkey chases me up and down the stairs.
Hey, Bob Casey, do you like those reasons? Was it Raisin or Reason with the chocolate covering and then the caramel in the middle? Those things and what are these? The weather beans.
Oh, the Werthers.
Werthers.
Oh, no,
I love
oh
Werther's
God,
original.
stop
Freaking
it.
addicting. Werther's
Yeah.
original.
They're
I'm
good.
drinking water. That's what I'm drinking.
They are absolutely addicting.
Yep.
My niece is actually for a while called me Uncle Werther's.
Oh,
I get them from,
Because
Wow.
whenever you're around, it's all kinds of Werther's candy. Is that
I got
maybe
him in
Mike?
the car. I got him in the bedroom.
They're great.
Chair.
Ed says that he seriously doubts that the chocolates caused me to gain 15 pounds. It's not how it worked, Ed. I have no willpower when it comes to sweets and carbohydrates, so I just don't eat them. And when I do, I'm like an alcoholic that has that first drink, and after that comes the
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, and that's
you
what
buy
happens.
the bag
But
and you say, well, you know what? That bag isn't that big.
But not just that, but then you have the sweet, and then you go, well, you know what? Before I go back on this diet, maybe I'll just run up to the corner store and get, a pint of Ben and Jerry's,
There you
And then
go.
the next night you go,
you go.
what the hell, one more. I'll just, and then 3 months later, I gain 15 pounds and have to
Oh,
just say, that's it. That's it.
Well, you need to, I got the cure to that. You just need to go to a store that's about 2 miles away to do that same shopping, because then you'll burn it off.
Oh, walk to it?
Walk to it, pick it up, walk back.
But it would be melted by the time I got home.
Take one of those thermal bags with you.
There you go.
No, I think I'll just drive.
See, I tried to put logic into it, and it's just throwing it all out the door.
I mean, I admit it to anybody. I have no willpower. I'm weak as hell when it comes to that stuff.
Mitch, just send out your manservant to get it.
My manservant. I'll send a monkey to swing from tree to tree. But if he'd probably eat the damn stuff before he got home anyway. So. You can't trust these monkeys.
Enstrom's has their ice cream as well. And yesterday when I went to pick up the toffee, they've got dark chocolate ice cream. So I got a cup of that. And it's better than getting in a cone, because they give you that plastic cup and the lady just scoops it and mashes it in there, so you're getting more ice cream. And oh boy, and this week, Wednesday, all the bars and restaurants are open here in Denver. So now I was able to eat inside the Enstrom store. They have a sitting area, and they also have outdoor seating. It was getting kind of hot out there, so I sat inside where it was nice and cool, enjoying my ice cream.
Did you cut a hole in your mask? Did you cut a little hole in your mask?
Does anybody own a mask?
I have a mask.
Yeah. I got one.
I'll tell you, the only time I wear it when I go into the grocery store, just so people don't give me dirty looks. I don't need that crap. I'm liable to mouth off back to them, and I don't want to do that.
Let him say something, and I'll tell him go pick up the gloves in the parking lot.
Let me tell you what my son did. My son, who's 6'3", big kid. Anyway,
hey, Bill.
He had to take his mother-in-law into the doctor's office. So he did a favor for his mother-in-law, his wife's mother, who had a doctor's appointment. So he goes into the doctor, and she, of course, needs somebody to help her. So he helps her and he brings her in, and the doctor said to him, "You need to be wearing a mask." And my son says, "I can't." This is true. The doctor says, "What do you mean you can't?" He says, "It's a 3rd-degree felony in this state to wear a mask while you're carrying a concealed weapon."
Good excuse.
And knowing my son, he said that and just looked at the guy. And he does. He always has his little bag with his gun in it, and he's got a license to carry. He says, "But I can't wear the mask, so if you want, I'll just leave her here and you can carry her around." And the doctor said, no, it's okay. You just sit there.
There you go. Hey, I want to say hello to Bill, Coast to Coast Drones. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. No, it's still required here. Just like Mitch was saying, in order to go into any store or market, you have to wear a mask. Although on Tuesday, here in Orange County and also in the Inland Empire, Riverside County, restaurants opened up. We went out to dinner for the first time on Tuesday. Nothing on the table except for the servings that they had wrapped for you and set them down on your table. And what was ironic is you'd normally see the salt and pepper shakers and everything. This is the first time I've ever seen those little packets that they used to give you back in the 50s and 60s of the little salt and pepper. And there was a pepper and a salt little thing. So I kept them. I says, I'm going to frame this. I'm going to call it my souvenir from 2020.
Well, here in Florida, we don't have, there's not an edict that we have to wear masks.
the little packets with salt and pepper
that you
the
break.
little
You break them in half. Like
no, these were the old tear. These are the old tear
Oh,
ones.
no kidding! Wow.
Yeah.
I remember the breakaway ones though, Mitch. That you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Remember those, Mike?
the
Yeah, the breakaway,
cylinders.
little, like cylinders.
Yeah.
Remember the little when you got on an airplane? Remember the little tiny plastic salt and pepper shakers they used to?
Oh,
give
yeah.
you? Yeah.
And they stopped those real quick because they couldn't afford to keep replacing them.
Well, we don't have to. We don't have to wear a mask here in Florida. They never came out and said you have to. And
Right, not
and I
here
would
either.
say when I went into Sam's Club the other day, I would say 80% of the people in there were not wearing masks and gloves.
Costco's still requiring it here in
But
California.
I put the stupid thing on
California.
just so I don't get dirty looks from these idiots. You know.
I went
and-
into my doctor's for my prescription and a big note on the door, what must wear mask to come in here. I walk right in. You're going to give me my stuff or not? I don't.
Any
if
of you
you're
guys
gonna get
know-
a flu, you're going to get a flu. Not the
So
scrap
any of you
off
guys
already.
know anybody that's died from COVID-19?
No.
Yes. I
You do.
found out on Friday. I got
Was it somebody who was old and sick or a young person?
he did have some ailments. He was 50 some years old only.
He was young.
And,
And
he,
you're
he
sure it was
he did
COVID?
have he did what he did is he died of a stroke while on the ventilator.
Okay. I know one person who had one person, period, that got COVID. He was old and sick, but survived without, just was sick, and he's fine now. I've asked everybody I know if they know anybody that's had it. Nobody knows anybody that's
I know.
that's had
I
it.
have not direct friends, but friends who, like a buddy of mine, he had his next door neighbors both got it. The guy spent 3 days in the hospital, and his wife stayed home. She wasn't as sick.
Yeah.
Another young guy who was in the hospital for half a day. So people are legitimately getting it.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not a disease, but interestingly enough, we've had the lightest flu season this year that we've had in the history of the world.
Yeah. Well, then you get into
We've had 24,000 people supposedly died of the flu this year when it's normally closer to 50 or 60 or 70. So that
Yeah.
half of those that half the people that they're tagging as COVID deaths were flu deaths.
Sure, because you know what happens in the hospital because of everything going on? It's
Yeah, they get
called
paid.
8,000 or 30,000. So what do you
Yeah.
think the hospitals are going to force the doctors to do? And I know
Yeah, of course. Yes.
many doctors here. There's one of them that he's got a lawsuit against the hospital now
Oh,
because he
Really?
was not going to change. He was not going to put down what they wanted him to put down. He says, go ahead,
Oh.
let's take this to court and let's find out who wins.
I think we're going to find out that probably 30% of the deaths, at least 30%, were iffy as to the real cause of death. You get guy got in a traffic accident, and they say, well, he was driving along and he was really worried about COVID and wasn't paying attention when he ran into that tree, so COVID was the cause of death.
hey, Art, how come your chat doesn't have the option to give you a super chat?
Because art isn't
Because
monetized.
He doesn't have the watch hours yet.
Yeah.
You have to be monetized in order to get a super chat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
didn't
to
know
have 4,000 watch hours, and right now I'm pretty close to 2,700 K watch hours.
Okay,
So-
didn't know that. Somebody just told me last night that if you have 1,000 subscribers that you can live stream. Yeah, I
Yes.
thought you had to have both the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch
I
hours.
don't
you
have
can live
1,000
stream.
I don't have 1,000 subscribers and I can live stream.
Yeah,
Well,
but I thought you were
using
doing
the
it from your
YouTube
home
using the
Wi-Fi.
YouTube app. Not
You
talking
can
about
live YouTube. You've always been able to live stream from a laptop or computer. You could just not.
Yeah,
You could not
yeah.
live
Right,
stream
horrible.
mobile.
Right, well,
And
that's
that's
what we're
where
talking
the
about.
RMTP came in, and then Streamlabs and everybody else adapted it.
Right. But the YouTube app itself, if you have a YouTube on your mobile
That's what
phone,
I'm talking about, Mitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
to stream from your mobile phone, you got to have 1,000. And then not only do you have to have 1,000, but you have to wait a couple months after you get the 1,000 before it actually gets turned on.
Yeah, they want to make sure you're keeping above the 1,000.
Whatever reason, mine didn't start working until a couple months later, and I never use it.
I've never
I
tried
never
it.
use it anyway.
I
never
thought I
use
had
it
to have
anyway.
4,000 watch hours, so I never tried it.
No, it's 1,000 subs and has nothing to do with watch hours
Yeah.
to use the mobile app.
Just before they made that rule, I did a sunset live stream on YouTube, and then I thought this was pretty cool.
I remember.
And oh yeah, and
I remember.
And they not long after that, with that thing that happened in Indonesia that was live, I think is why they made the rule. And it's so I'm at 500. I can't, maybe by next year I'll have 1,000.
Wait, Mike, what happened in Indonesia?
Wasn't it there where there was the mosque that was shot up?
I don't know.
And that's, and it was carried on social media with cell phones. So that's what I think prompted YouTube to make sure you're like a legit channel, or attempt that. It's funny, you can still do it on Facebook, which was a bigger problem than YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or you could be like Logan Paul and show a dead guy on your channel.
Right. Yeah.
And boy, his channel got taken down for a while there when he did that. That was just plain stupid.
Why did he show that?
Because he's an idiot. He wanted to get the views. He was in Japan, and anyway.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I didn't either. I heard about it, and it wasn't anything I wanted to see anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm surprised you don't have 4,000 hours.
Yeah, well, I'm plugging away with the live streams, and I've been slacking a little. I haven't put out any drone stuff.
It's like work, man.
Yeah,
it's work, isn't it?
It's like every time I want to go fly, either the weather's not cooperating or it's a beautiful day, but it's windy as heck. And
they're building these houses here, and I don't know if this happens by you, but here, a truck comes and dumps all the wood that's going to be necessary to build this house, and they leave that. The trusses are pre-built for the roof,
right?
And that crap is all laid there, and it's there for months because they build the inside of the house first, build up the concrete blocks on the outside.
Right.
So this shit's out in the rain and everything, getting bent and all this crap, and half of it's stolen, and they just dump it and drive off. And all the big dumpsters they put out there, they get filled up with the neighbors throwing their garbage in there. It's like I've never seen this stuff before. Why would you? Because you know how expensive the plywood is, the 2x4s are. They just literally leave these stacks of wood out there.
Yeah.
And people don't steal them. People steal them at night, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, back during the days when the big subdivisions were being built, they used to do that. They'd come in with big flat tractor trailer loads of this stuff out, and the Poda bones would come in and lift them up for the trusses, set them down. They'd come back the next day, gone. People were coming in, hot watering the Poda bones that were on the job site, loading them onto trucks, and then taking off with them.
There's no one here to stop you. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a citizen, that's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
Each day you see the attrition, though.
But if you were just like his nephew was there, just sit there and you just walk out there and just happen to have a gun there and saying, you know what? A friend of mine has a gun and he's going over here and he's trying to check what's going on. What are you doing over here?
I just got annoyed that, they stop work at 3 p.m. down here. So they start work at 6 a.m.
What?
And these trucks banging with dumping the dirt and all that, because every house has to be built up 10 feet high. And then they have these cranes come that put the trusses on the top of the cinder blocks. No respect for the neighbors, man. They were there at 6:57 with this damn crane.
Yep.
7
Well, they're
o'clock.
allowed 7 o'clock. Yeah, they're not
7
allowed to
o'clock,
start
yeah.
till 7. Same thing with duck hunting season. You know, they over in the St. John's River Basin, right behind where I am, they hunt ducks. So during duck hunting season, you can set your clock on a Sunday morning. 7 o'clock, it sounds like World War III.
You know, Mike, I used to go hunting up in the Pocono Mountains. We used to go deer hunting.
Right.
And it would be the same thing. We would go up with our 30-06 rifles and that stuff. And then the guys would come in from the city, and all you'd hear is bam, 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 bam. To them, it's shooting season, not hunting season. So then we'd pack up and have to go home because there ain't a deer in sight after the noise they got done blasting their 44 caliber.
Yeah.
Oh, too
Pocono.
funny, Rick. Rick wants to know, Jim, do you have any more trusses to sell?
Yes. Yeah.
He's got
As
a
a matter of
hernia.
fact,
Got a truss to hold up his hernia is what he's got.
you've seen my ad in Facebook Marketplace, I take it, Rick. I honestly, I mean,
Excuse me.
they're not using real plywood. They're using that press board, you know?
OSB.
Yeah.
And then it sits out in the rain and it all swells up and turns to mush.
That
It's
was
great
my
stuff.
point. What? I mean, some of this stuff is really bent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most of the time, they'll cover it. I know when we had our fire here at the house, even the plywood, they didn't use OSB. They used regular plywood for shearing the top of the roof.
Right.
And the moment we had rain coming in, they came out of there and they put tarps over everything. So it's really funny. There was a shot at one time that it came over when the construction was going on that Google Earth had taken an image. So you're looking around, you just see blue, this big patch of blue on the property, and there it was with everything being covered.
It's like Florida after a hurricane. All blue
Blue
roofs.
roof.
The
Blue
blue
roof
roofs.
season.
Tomorrow,
Hey, Jay
our
Santiago's
old guy
here.
and a drone, ArtCo and a FPV.
I know my roof can't take another hurricane. I replaced this roof
Make
after
sure
a
you're-
hurricane in 2005.
Really?
Yeah, so this one, another hurricane, it's going to need a new roof.
Hey Jay, welcome to the show.
Jeez,
What's up,
San
Jay?
Diego.
Howdy, Jay. What did they sell the roofs on what? Do you want a 1 hurricane, or 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 10 hurricane season roof, huh?
Steve, after a hurricane, these guys are here from every state. The guys who did my roof were from Jersey. Guys just, I mean, once there's a hurricane, you hear hurricane in Florida, that's open season for anybody. They just-
Bloodsuckers.
Yeah, they just come on down.
Oh, it's the same thing here. We get hail. You know, every spring we'll get a few weeks of really bad hail here. Most of the time it's pea-sized hail, but when we get the bad stuff, we're getting golf ball size up to baseball size hail. And 3 years ago, I had my windshield battered up, and the whole rest of my car dented up by golf ball size hail. So
That'll kill you if you get caught out. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Art, why are these guys making fun of you and me? Comparing us to the odd couple, trying to decide which one of us is Oscar and which is Felix.
I'm the one go meh, meh, meh.
Yeah, I'm the one with the cigar. Yeah.
Oh, so Ed's getting lightning down there right now? You guys got storms going through you?
Every 5 minutes. Just, you know, the old saying in Florida is you don't like the weather, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They say that here too, Mitch.
Yeah.
I think every
Well, they used to
state
say that in Massachusetts too when I was up in stationed
Every
up there near
city says
Boston.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. There you go.
That's
Yep.
South Dakota size hail.
Yep. We
We
get
see
that,
they had
Wow.
we get that here in Denver, and when we get the baseball size stuff, boy, you'll hear about it every place in the country. Whoa, Colorado got hit by some hurricane.
Art, I have one.
Yeah.
I wanted to show. Oh, here. This is what the hail did to a plastic.
Oh yeah,
It was a picnic table.
yeah. If you have
Where'd the picture go?
linoleum siding or that plastic siding, it'll just blow holes through that.
Where the hell
yeah.
did the picture go?
I don't know.
Saw it for a second and then disappeared.
Yeah, I don't. It's huge. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll put holes through that.
I've never. We were in rented mobile homes. They were fifth wheels, and when that hail came down, it went through the damn trailer and punched through the picnic table, which is what I was trying to show you. I don't know why the picture went blank. But fortunately we had those cheap barbecues, those black ones where you just put charcoal in it.
Right.
And we were using that over our heads. That stuff would seriously damage you. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Rick's getting lightning there too, he's saying. Here too, Steve. Well, it's in the 70s here and sunny.
I had never seen hail like that before, Art. And I never have after that.
But it's just like I haven't been able to fly because every afternoon, well, I should say the last couple of days, it's been really overcast. In fact, the day of my mom's service, it was starting 2 days before, because it was supposed to be up in the mid 80s, going into 90s even, and all of a sudden it was like a snap change and cloud cover all the way inland, like almost 25 to 30 miles, almost the whole entire day. But yet you'd go like the city of Anaheim, and then you get into like going into Riverside, Corona and Riverside, 100 degrees out there. Well, we're sitting over here in like the mid to high 60s, if that.
Wow.
And they're just roasting.
Well, San Diego is traditionally cool in June.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never understood, but for some reason it's cool.
Well, we have what they call the May gray, which i.e., and then you have June gloom. That's the nickname because what it'll come in is you'll get the morning overcast, and then it'll go out like say maybe around 10 to 1. It'll extract back out and then come back in again at nighttime.
Is that all because of the mountains?
Well, it's just on the coast. It's just the way that the coastal, what they call a coastal eddy, sets up around here that we get all the time. And what really makes it bad is when we get the warmer weather, you get into July into August. And I mean, what I mean warm for here, I mean, we can get 100 to 103 degrees here, right here where I'm at. And I mean, I'm talking 3/4 of a mile as the crow flies to the water. And what happens is that coastal layer will come in and it'll bring that cloud cover in. And then it's just like getting close to what you guys get, that humidity. It just, just feel the humidity just goes whoom through the roof.
Yeah.
In a matter of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're supposed to get a cold front through here, a small cold front here tomorrow, Jim. And Monday, Tuesday are supposed to be in the low 80s. I went out to the park and flew a little bit this morning. Everything was wet out there, but I did get some little.
I was busy paying my air conditioner man. For some reason the air conditioner, the outside unit, the compressor, the freon level went down to the zero. Honestly, zero.
You got a leak.
Yeah, and he put. It's supposed to be at a PSI of 75 pounds, and he actually didn't have enough freon on him, so he put 50 pounds in, and he came back this morning to finish it off. But when he got back here this morning, it was back at 20 pounds. So there's definitely
he didn't fix the leak. He didn't find.
No,
the leak.
It was his day off. They're closed on Saturdays.
Yeah,
he'll be back Monday.
Oh, that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah. You'll have to get a bucket of ice and a fan and blow that on.
When it's 82 degrees in the house, that don't last long. That trick
That's like
don't last.
that's like us trying to take kegs of beer out to the desert when we used to go off-roading in the summertime, or
Here's a
coming out to
question.
the spring. You can never keep the keg cold.
Let me. We have the technology now for solar shingles for roofs.
Say that
Wow.
real fast.
Why aren't they putting solar shingles on new housing, right? Because right now, as I speak, Florida Power and Light is building a solar power plant that we're paying for. And then you'll pay for the solar once it's, completed. Yet you don't have solar roofs on the houses. I don't understand this.
It's required here in California. Any home being built, you got to have solar panels on it.
Thank you.
Really?
Thank you.
There was a company, and this goes back, I want to say probably close to 15 years ago. And coming from an electrical background and understanding solar photovoltaic cells, when you're looking at them, and what I wanted to say, the usefulness of it. In other words, the percentage of light that's going to be collected and then actually generated into electricity. The percentage is so low. There was a company in Australia that created, it was a film, and the film could be adhered to, say, like shingles, like if you had asphalt shingles roof, or like clay tile, and it could be bonded to the tile. And those at that time were over 72%, where you're lucky if you had 60 on a good solar panel of the effectiveness of that panel.
Right.
And they were over 70. And at one point they got it up to 80%, and all of a sudden they disappeared. And it's just like, okay, who bought them out and who's putting the quash quiet on them? Because it was so there was no, I have to reinforce your things. We got to put all these mounts on it. No, you could bond it right to an existing material and bond it to it every so often. And then just the wires every so often had to go into a collection hub, because each panel could only take so much, current flow.
Right.
So say every 3 or 4 panels, there would be one strip running down for the cables that it would bond together, hit down, and then collectively go together to the controller. But it was like, my gosh, no weight, you can put it on anything, and never came around.
I don't know how those solar shingles work, but I know they have them. I'm just amazed that that's not. If you're sitting there and your own power company is building solar power plants, and Disney has their own power. They've got solar fields for days.
Right.
It's huge. Disney World.
Yeah, world.
Well, they've got
Disney,
the land.
they're their own city. Disney,
Yeah.
they're their own municipality. They're totally autonomous.
Reedy Creek.
Well,
Reedy
it's the
Creek
same.
district. Yeah.
Well, Anaheim here, where Disneyland is, they get the power straight in high voltage, and it goes straight to them, and then they step it all down. So their power consumption is low. But, it's not like they bought up, square miles and miles and miles of property, before you were ever going to build a resort.
Disney did.
Well, I'm saying Disney did, unlike here, to where it was nothing but strawberry fields and agriculture where they put Disneyland at before.
Walt Disney
where they put
actually
Disney-
bought the land in Florida under 50, 60 different corporation names, so
Yeah.
nobody would know it was Disney.
I mean, huge amount of land, just enormous amount of land.
Miles.
And then the town is actually called Reedy Creek, which
Yeah,
has its
that's
own
a-
ambulance and paramedic, EMS station and all that crap. You never see anybody.
They don't
dead at
answer
Disney
to.
World. That's an awful.
They don't answer to anybody either. Disney. They answer to nobody. No government agency has any authority over them. They are totally autonomous. They write the rules. They even write the rules for their airspace above them.
I saw that video the other day, and I said, right on the video I posted, I thought there was a 3 nautical mile no-fly zone.
Yeah,
Friggin' video of Disney.
I was up in a news helicopter when the monorail accident happened at Disney. A friend of mine was a photographer at Channel 9. We went up in the helicopter. He called me on a Sunday morning. He says, "You want to go up in the newscopter?" I said, "Sure." So I went out to the airport, and I flew in. I was in the left front seat of the helicopter, and We headed out to get over Disney. We get over Disney, and the next thing we get a call from air traffic control, and air traffic control says to the pilot, who's the TV station's helicopter pilot, we just got a call from Disney. You need to leave there. So Disney is dictating to the FAA who can and can't fly.
Wow.
They said you can go over 3,000 feet. They said, but it was
in any event, it's got a
overcast.
3 nautical mile.
Same here.
Yeah,
24
restricted airspace. Yeah,
2014 they enacted them all.
They had actual drone video on. It was just a few days ago, Mitch, because of announcing the reopening.
Oh well, they can fly their own drones there, but the rest of us can't.
That, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Right. It's a private. I don't like the idea of a private company buying up enough land to become a municipality.
Right.
You know,
but they do. They're that.
And,
they're
and
that
most
big.
people here don't know that, Mitch. Most people
Yeah.
don't know. They don't even know the name Reedy Creek.
No,
they have no idea.
No. And Reedy Creek started out as a water management district.
Plus,
That's what it was
controls the
initially.
news. They own ABC News.
ABC.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing is really an eye-opener is when you open up a contract for Disney and you find out that they are self-insured. They don't have an insurance carrier. Yeah. And you look at the policy on it and saying that the insurance level is for $50 million. That's their basic policy that goes out when you go to do a job for it. You'll be sitting onto it. You don't have to get insurance. They're self-insured. It goes through that and the price of it when you do the job with them. And they're self-insured. And I'm talking in 1998 is when I received that contract. And I looked at it. I looked at the zero, and I'm going, how many zeros is there?
It's self-underwritten, I bet, huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How much more self-sufficient could you be, for Christ's sakes? That's
right.
How do you get away with that?
Anything as far as news and stuff. There's a quash put on any injury, any accident.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like that for Disney, it's a quash put on it. And when I was there, the non-disclosure agreements that we had to have for it as the company I worked for to do the work there. It's everything. Your documents you sign, everything. You're giving away your firstborn child if you get caught doing anything. And especially of the gag order of anything that happens there or should happen there, anything like that, you can be held liable.
I see nothing contract. Non-disclosure agreement.
Spend enough of there where they have to give away their firstborn child.
Yeah.
Prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I agree with you, though, Mike. Nobody should have that kind of power.
No, not a private company.
Clause.
You know what it is? They'll turn around and brag, well, we're bringing 40 million people a year into your airport, and your economy.
Yeah.
So
that's the Rumpelstiltskin clause, where you have to give your first.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that, Art. God, I hadn't heard that in decades.
They're sitting in the middle of, Steve. It's funny because it's Orange County that Disney World sits in the middle of.
It's Orange County that it sits in the middle of here.
I know. I just thought that was
coincidence.
What?
Coincidence?
Yeah,
coincidence?
I think not.
Yeah, I'm going to go over and check in China and in France. I'm going to go check and see what the counties have been renamed there.
Yeah.
The county, the orange.
Yeah. Le Orange.
Le Orange. All I know is that my wife worked for Disneyland for a real short period of time in the construction department when the Disney France was being built, and they were over there starting to get ready for, excavating. And so it's like, oh my gosh, the stuff coming across. Farmers were out there that, their land had been taken over. They were taking it over. they're out there with shotguns shooting at the people that are coming in on the heavy equipment operators coming in there in order to start dozing off the area and start, getting the property ready. They'd get these faxes coming in all the time about these farmers out there shooting at them that they had to pull off.
Hey, Steve, how deep is Disney property? When I say how deep, Steve did electrical contracting underneath Disney. How deep do they go?
It depends on where you're at. Some of it, I mean, when you're in the tunnel areas, figure your ground level, 20 feet. Some of the stuff could actually be 30 feet, but most of it that's on the surface, it's normally about max around 12.
That's it?
Yeah, it's not real deep because you got to remember we have good soil here, not like you guys have there in Florida where it's all marshy swampland.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because I know several people that actually worked over there at Disney World, and one of them worked for what they call WDI, Walt Disney Imagineering. And when they were doing the Animal Kingdom over there, that was over there. It was like the vaccinations that they had to have in order to go work over there. Mm-hmm. It's like anytime you go in there, it was like you had this squad that would go into all these chambers before they'd open up these cabinets where all their fiber optics and everything were going to be in there for the animatronics and stuff that they had going on in places.
It's a small world.
Oh, no.
That's actually an underground ride, Art. That's not even on top of the ground ride. That and Pirates of the Caribbean.
That is a sound that will stick in my head now till tomorrow because of you.
Oh, that friggin' song! You hear that song once, and you for months you end up singing it to yourself. Yeah, thanks.
I like stickers.
Don't even.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because some of the stuff in there was deep. Because of where you have to have for the footings and everything else, because of the.
Well, I just know that all the characters come up from behind these doors that you public never sees.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have a tunnel system under the whole thing.
That's what we're talking about.
Only in parts of it. Only in parts of it. And I know some of it because I've seen the blueprints for Florida. But here in California, there are tunnel systems, like across the street from the park, there is the hotel complex. There is a full-size vehicles can drive inside these all the way around if you need to get a full vehicle in there. And they're all power ventilated, so you have the emissions going over. You're not going to be, dropping dead underneath from carbon dioxide poisoning being in there.
The engineering of that must be incredible. Like, there's got to be like all kinds of water mitigation and stuff like that, especially in Florida. Because you start digging in Florida, you hit water.
Yeah,
you guys saying and.
I think what they did, I think they build so much of it up. They brought so much dirt in there that their basement may still be way above the water.
That happens too, because. When we build a house, we build it up.
Yeah,
you get so many dump trucks full of sand, and then you build the house on top of it, and that is because they have to put a septic system in.
When you're working here, like over there and talking with them, because we retrofitted the whole park fire alarm system. And I'm talking the old Disney park.
Yeah.
But then we were so delayed into it and getting that one-year job done, it took 157 days for them to approve our submittals. Well, we started putting the project in. We weren't going to wait that. But when you're looking at having to run everything, what?
His sister's
Congratulations.
Yeah,
hey, congratulations, Nathaniel.
Yeah, congratulations, Nathaniel.
And Art, on that note of Nathaniel Lee's new niece or nephew, I'm going to take off here, take the rest of the day off, and
Well, thanks for coming in. Mitch.
My pleasure, and I will see you I will see you tomorrow night, and we'll get your little drone flying.
Good to see you, Mitch.
Hey, Mike, good to see you. Steve, Jim, take
Mitch.
care of yourselves. Bye, everybody in the chat. And let's see, which button do I push? I think.
Hey, mind those TFRs out there.
Yeah, right. It's gone now. I just looked at. It's over. The launch has launched. See you later.
I'm glad it went
Take care.
okay.
Bye.
Take care, Mitch. Hey, I just have one announcement. I just got a message from Gmail. Metro Drone just donated $10 in the tip jar. Thank you very much, Bill.
That's a nice guy. He does that
He
for a
is.
couple of channels.
He does that in a lot of places, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Cool.
But what'll happen is in a lot of places like Disney, where we had our biggest problem is, and we excluded all underground work. So in other words, we would not put any conduit in or anything like that. That had to go under a separate contract with another contractor that does underground work there in the park, because you've got ductwork in there that is asbestos contaminated or built with asbestos. All over the place. And all it takes is one little nick, and you take an attraction down, you're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So we excluded that all from that. We did the conduit, had one contractor doing the conduit work. And then we worked with an engineer there that we found old paths that weren't being used anymore. Conduits in the ground that have been there maybe say for 30 years or even longer. And they were still intact in there.
You got to figure they started buying land for Walt Disney World here in Florida the year I was born.
Yeah.
61 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and to have the smarts, because they were buying it, and I think, I forget the size of the parcels they said, but he had so many different companies buying the parcel so that nobody would know it was them, because they didn't want the land prices to get inflated.
Right.
You know, and they just announced that they're expanding the Animal Kingdom area. So I don't know how they got more land, but it's huge, man. It is a huge park.
Yep.
In order to get to the actual the main attraction, you have to take a ferry over.
Right.
The Animal Kingdom, Epcot, you don't have to do any of that. But to get to the main Disney, what the hell do they call that with the castle?
Disney World.
Magic Kingdom.
Disney World.
Yeah.
I think it's Magic Kingdom.
The Magic Kingdom, but they call it's Disney World.
They got it sliced off. The whole thing is Disney World. Animal Kingdom here, Magic Kingdom here, Epcot over here.
Yep.
But it's the only one you actually have to take a ferry ride to.
Yeah. Just don't go to Epic Cat.
I like Epcot. Epcot used to be boring, but now, you know, my granddaughter, that's her favorite park.
Yeah, they the thing here that because we have Knott's Berry Farm, which is neighbored over in Garden Grove, and what's crazy there is the traffic flow of Garden Grove is horrendous, but yet they don't get the revenue that Anaheim, collects. And a lot of that freeways, it's the street traffic that all their streets are getting torn up. Yeah, you will have to be calling me Gramps pretty soon, Carlos. I'm a grandpa now, but this will be the first bloodline grandchild.
That's cool.
Hey, JDS Flying Canuck, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a big this controversy going back and forth with the two parks until they finally got it arranged because of the wear and tear and the control that Disney has. Because even as they were building up Anaheim, between Anaheim Stadium and going to Disney Park, they more or less told the city of Anaheim what you're going to allow to build there, because they put them all the people on the council members are, shall we say, well taken care of by Disney Corporation.
Yeah, I became a papa in 2008.
Well,
Actually, my grandkids now, through my stepdaughter, call me Pops.
yeah, that's why I call my grandfather
Pops?
That's
Yeah.
friendly. That's friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Even his, my dad called him Pop. Everybody called him Pop, and so
Oh, that's really good.
yeah, his first name was Arnold, so we didn't, we want to say Grandpa Arnold, or
I was just always called Papa.
never call him Arnie. Oh, he hated that.
Why? I like Arnie.
Yeah, well,
He didn't
Well,
like it?
Arnold Palmer,
Yeah.
Arnie.
yeah,
Everybody called him that. In fact, that's the name of the well, he's since passed, but the restaurant's still in Palm Springs. It's called Arnie's
right.
for
Yeah.
short. Everybody
My
they don't
dad-
call it
He
Palmer's.
was so
which is
nice
called-
that in Orlando you have the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital sitting right next to Orlando Regional Medical Center. Huge hospital, and started by him, just for kids.
yeah.
My dad, his name was Gerald. He went by Jerry.
hmm
Yeah, and
I
but
like the old names.
yeah,
Jerry, Arnie.
yeah. But the thing about Gerald is the spelling could be screwed up in so many different ways, because his name was Jerold.
Oh, I see. Not G.
Yeah, not a G or an A in there. People put an A in there. Gerald. No, it's not Gerald.
You know who you
Jared-
just reminded me of? Jared, the guy from that sandwich.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, Subway.
Yeah.
our governor's name here, Jared Polis.
Oh, I just noticed here's Steven because I had a business meeting up and I had that on there. It's just like it's Steve, and the only time Steven came out is when I was in trouble, and it came out of my mom's name, and it was Stephen Wayne, and you knew,
Yeah.
run baby, run.
Good. That's like hearing James. Yeah.
Arthur Lewis. And I knew I was in trouble. Yeah.
Feet don't fail me now.
You know you screw up when you hear your Christian name.
Exactly.
Well, over in the Philippines, you have like 4 different names.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't that like the Spanish thing? Will they take the mother's last name too in the hyphen?
Yeah, in the Philippines, they do that. I'm not sure if it's. I think it's the mother's maiden name is their middle name, because my
So like
ex-
Juan Sanchez hyphen Rodriguez Amigo. There's 4 names there.
right? Well, my ex-fiance is Yolanda Alcina Fabian, and all her siblings have the same middle name, Alcina. Oxina. Alcina.
I don't know. I had a friend of mine who told me that they take the mother's name stays with the family.
Yeah. Now in Russia, it's the other way. They'll take the first name of the father is the middle name of all the children.
Huh.
Now you got to remember, in Russia there's the feminine and the masculine of
Right.
that name.
Like Olga and Oleg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oleg. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, guys, I'm going to step out too.
Well, thanks for coming in, Mike.
Yeah,
Always a pleasure having you
Yeah,
here.
thanks for the invite, Art.
Yeah.
And Jim and Steve, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
Everybody in the chat, have a good night. And maybe I'll catch you guys tomorrow afternoon on our show, or tomorrow night with Mitch.
Oh, yeah, that show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, come on. Come and see that. We'll do all the political stuff there. We'll talk about rioting.
Like there's nothing to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hey, goodbye, Rick Calvert and Bob Casey and all the rest of you guys. I appreciate it. So, okay, have a good one, everyone.
Take care, Mike. Good to see you.
I was surprised when I didn't hear anything political about Trump being at the NASA launch, because he fully supports space exploration.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. I just expected that to be I'm expecting everything now. You know, you can't do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't seen the evening news out yet.
Yeah.
The only thing I had to laugh, and I'm going to disclose this right now, is that what happened in Minneapolis. Now we've got all these other cities exploding.
Yep.
But at Atlanta, at whose headquarters building gets rocks thrown through their front windows, spray painted? CNN.
Yep.
Destruction to the front of their building there. But yet, you know, every other news agency was, you know, broadcasting it, but they weren't. Why weren't they broadcasting about their own station?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you want? Yeah.
You'd think they would have really picked that up and run with it. Like, oh, look how picked on we are. You know, that kind of vein.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's gotten political, and then of course
be the news. They'd rather be the news by telling fictitious stories and trying to make the president look bad and all that stuff.
I couldn't believe when they were all running with that. President says, drink Clorox or inject Clorox or whatever. Jesus, I understand. You know what? I never actually saw out and out lies until I saw that stuff. That's no longer fake news. That's making shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, people believe that crap.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I have liberal friends who just because they want to believe it.
Yeah.
Where's the fact check there? Twitter.
Oh, and also,
Steve, they don't even know how to fact check. Where would they go to fact check?
Oh, well, look who pops in at the last minute. Ron, welcome, Ron.
Ronnie boy.
Come in earlier.
You're right.
Yes.
Hey, Ron, turn your phone, Ron. We want landscape, not portrait.
Can't in the car.
Yeah, he's in the car.
Okay. Never mind.
He's hi-hatting us. Look at him. He's hi-hatting us.
You're in a bad area, Ron.
Yep. So tomorrow on Art's Place, we'll talk about Trump's latest executive order about what was it specifically, Twitter or just media in general?
I thought it was all social media. I didn't know that it was specific to Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter,
they can't make. Go ahead.
It was the one that was brought out because what Twitter did, because then they put themselves into a position as a publication, what they did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. You look much better, Ron. Welcome back.
Much better.
No.
Why am I not?
There we go. Nice steering wheel.
Mike says he has a magnet he can spin in his car. I've got that stupid one where the phone is supposed to stick to it. That green back.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one of those on TV kind of things?
Mm-hmm.
But now with the casing, it doesn't stick to it, so the phone falls off.
Well, Ron's got that thing where the phone it's a magnet. It just snaps right into place. Yep.
Well, it's clear as a bell now, Ron.
Yeah.
Is it? But I can get it hooked up to the Bluetooth.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What was that?
1 second.
The radio. He's trying to hook it up to the Bluetooth of the radio.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Your voice is clear.
Mm-hmm. Night Train just popped in. Go check out his channel. He's got some great video of the flooding in Michigan where the dam failed. So
It's still clear
go
too,
check
yeah.
those out. Yeah.
Yeah, he had some great videos of before it failed too, so you can see it before and the flooding that was going on before it did.
Yep. I'm wondering, who runs that state now?
The stay-at-home that her husband wanted his boat launched
Yeah, right.
when the state was shut down.
Isn't it funny that the Democrats take over and they take away all the funding that would go to, I don't know, making sure dams are in good shape and there's no problems with it?
Yeah, I posted that on somebody's Facebook post that was posting a bunch of stuff. I says, really fun, interesting that it seems to be all the problems going on in this state being there is she's so worried about taking care about people wearing masks, not buying carpet, not buying flooring, not buying paint, but yet she can't take care of her water and her infrastructure in order to keep the people alive.
She believes in contact tracking too.
Oh,
Pelosi.
of course
She's
she
fully
does.
behind that.
Because she's one of the top 10 people on Mr. Biden's vice president pick.
Yep.
How old? She got to be like 100. You look at her and she looks like she's been reworked.
She is in her early 80s.
Really?
Botox.
Yep.
Yeah, you could see it.
That's why she looks like this all the time.
Yes, her eyes are so big. Yeah.
We had to pass it so we could find out what's in it.
They were privately owned dams.
What? How can a dam be privately owned?
Yeah. Unless it was for a mill, because those dams are pretty old. Because
it was 100 years old. They said at least.
A lot of those. When you go back east, a lot of those types of dams were made for milling grain, or they were used as power to power a plant.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. But they used to use them to run the logs down, right?
Right.
To the plant, yeah.
And then the paddle wheel would turn gears that would operate the machinery like a lathe or a drill press or
milling for grain.
Yep. And Joe Blaylock, welcome to the show.
Adrian says, "Holy cow, you're still on? It is 2 hours. I'm gonna jump off and get something to eat."
Yeah, I'm about ready to do that pretty soon. Here it's a little after 7 o'clock, and
Ron just froze up again.
Eyes wide shut.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
So, yeah, I got to get out and I got to start flying drones again. I've been slacking off here. I got to, now when Mitch helps me out getting this guy going, I'll be having some videos of that. And once I get good with this, then I will be flying this bad boy.
Did you give up on that other one? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
did you get it? You got it all worked out now, right?
Yeah, works great. Mitch even flew it, and I bought an adapter to put a camera on here. It's got that silicone housing.
Yeah.
And I could put one of my cameras on here. And Mitch put the GPS in the bag with the prop. So once I get the camera thing put on, I could put the GPS on top of that. Or
no, I saw him fly it. But I thought once you got it back there, you were having troubles of getting things connected.
No, that was with my other drone, my Easy Fly.
Oh, okay.
Similar to this. And last week when I was on Mitch's show and Dan showed up, he thinks it might have been the
controller board. Yeah.
Yeah. And that does make sense to me.
Yeah. Hi, Ron.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back in better cell service. Oh, yeah, I'm on my way home. I'll be home in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you got one foot up in the air and the other hand out the window holding the phone up there in order to get the antenna out?
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
I was up at my buddy's house. He, his wife is fit to be tied. Oh, my gosh. He decided to raise chickens. He has this beautiful 4,500 square foot home, just gorgeous. And he was kind of raised a farm boy, like for whatever reason now he wants to raise chickens, and she is not happy about that. So I was up there helping him build this chicken coop, and man, she just left in a huff. Ooh.
Well,
I'm like, okay, buddy, it's all yours. I'll see you later.
Will she stay away?
Yeah.
My girlfriend in the Philippines, she bought a pig about a month ago, and it got big, and it ate one of her ducklings. And so she had a cookout the other night. She took the pig and put it on a spit and cooked it up and sold pieces of the pig to people out there. I think she got her money back that she paid for the pig.
I say that'll teach him for eating that damn duck.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, when Ken put that video on, I had no idea that horses would eat chickens, little chicks, or ducklings.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And
when they were going through that, it was just like boom. I'd never heard of it either.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he have on there the other night that he's always trying to gross out Ashley and
that
seagull ate the bunny rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the legs were just hanging out its beak.
Yeah.
Yeah, those rabbits' foot didn't help him out there.
Yeah.
Weren't that lucky. Hey, Jay Bird is here.
Yeah.
Well, Jay Bird. And AZ Drone Dude. Hey, Dave, how'd you like the toffee? You probably got it by now. And so how'd that turn out? I hope you enjoyed that. And he was our last winner. This week's winner looks like Mr. Ed was the big.
Well, you know what, Art? Instead of having bacon wrapped duck, it's going to be duck wrapped bacon wrapped duck instead.
Well, she still has her turkeys and her ducks. She's raising ducks, and it's like her house is 100 square meters, and she's only got like, I don't know how big her backyard is. It's not very big. I don't know how she does it, but she's got a little coop for her birds, but she likes raising animals. She lives out in the
Courtney?
And
Are you up at the house?
No, I just hold on. Let me shut this.
who's got
Oh, I was gonna bring Vanilla up and have a beer.
Oh, I think I can hear Ron talking. Somebody on the phone.
I think he's placing an order.
Oh, okay. I have fries with that. There, he turned it.
Well, that's fairly decent size though. 100 square meters. That's over 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's really not that small of a place then.
Yeah. And yeah, 2 bedrooms, living room, and a kitchen. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you look at places like in Japan or other places like that. It's like
tiny
postage stamp.
Yeah. Well, and that all depends. If you go out in the country, places are going to be a little bit bigger.
Right.
But in the city, where property is at a premium, that's why everything is so small.
Well, like they say, location, location, location.
That's true. All right, so I guess I better get going. Ed, don't forget to give me your address, and I will ship this out on Monday. Next week, I go on vacation. I'm pretty sure I'll do a show next week, but I don't know the following week because I got a whole week off, and I got the following Monday off. So I may be out of town. I don't know.
Are you working? How are you getting all this time off?
Oh, well, I get 200 hours a year.
You get 200 hours of vacation a year?
I've been there for 25 years. Yeah, once you get past, I think, 15 years, you get 200 hours.
Holy mackerels.
Yeah. So, and what they do is at the beginning of the year, AZ Drone Dude, Dave, I'm glad you enjoyed the toffee. Yeah, they make you plan out your vacation for the year. So
yeah, 5 weeks a year, and that doesn't count the holidays either.
That's right. Oh, and get this, I happened to win the lottery on getting the week of Christmas off. Yeah. So
congratulations.
Yep. And unfortunately, with all this baloney going on with the COVID, it screwed up my vacation, the early part of the year where I was supposed to be in Florida. And then I had vacation in, when was that? I think it was early May, and I think we were still on lockdown. But Mel is back. Welcome back, Mel. We're about ready to shut this puppy down. So since this is the last Saturday of the month, Monday, I get to roll it all over. I'm back to 20 hours.
There you go.
StreamYard. So tomorrow, now that I got the audio all straightened out, we'll be doing vMix tomorrow. So I'll be able to do all the fancy schmancy stuff on Art's Place tomorrow.
With your buddy Lloydo.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming to the show. Yes, Mitch was on earlier. He left about 20-30 minutes ago. Timeless Truth. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
You have a great night. And Chris, and all the people, Mel, Jay Bird, Ed, Adrian, Rick, and all the other guys, thank you for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week, same time. And also don't forget my other show, Art's Place, tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time or 12 p.m.
Pacific.
Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So take care, everyone, and
Take
have
care.
a great evening. Good night.
Take care, everybody.